Yes. Oh my. I have to keep on this. What's over here? Whoa! Oh, hello, friends. As you can see, I've been peering through the multiverse, trying to catch up on the keep on the Borderlands, and oh boy! Have we fallen behind? So much has happened. So many adventurers. So many deaths. But there have been a lot of successes, too.
Deaths? Did somebody say deaths? Let's see this vaunted OSE campaign that's getting more views than my own exquisite Night Below recaps. Links in the description, minions. Links in the description.
So, let's tune in and catch up, shall we? As always, the action is depicted with the Order of the Stick, Monster for Every Season, cutout minis. Today's players: Neil as Onion Buns Bumblestump, Neutral Halfling, Level 2. Vahid as Flighter, Lawful Ranger. Scott as Senec Christ, Lawful Cleric of Foltus. Rhiannon as Graxley Nogbottom. Originally a Lawful Halfling, Rhiannon has asked for an alignment change to Neutral. And guesting in, a familiar face from the Night Below campaign, Rick as Merlin, a clever and original name I've never heard for a magic user. But in a departure from his character Nomgar in the Night Below recaps, he has chosen to take Lawful as his alignment. Good for you, Rick.
Traitor.
The group sits together at the Traveller's Inn, the key meeting and social place at the Keep on the Borderlands. Graxley has now made the acquaintance of Bumblestump, and they are joined by a new face, Merlin. Colin Bush is cloistered for religious rites and away for the time being. Over drinks, the team shares information. Merlin has heard that the humanoids have stockpiled magic weapons and armor stored in one of the southern caves. Bruce, the evil, treacherous priest, has since been publicly executed.
Amateur.
Bumblestump learned that prior to his death, Bruce had given up the hidden location of Bargle the Wizard in an old fortification called Mistamere, some 2 days away deep into the woods.
Bargle? That second-rate old coot is practically villain royalty in D&D circles. Become a demi-lich, scourge of many cosmos, and no one's heard of you. Kill one lowly priestess, scar a generation of young adventurers, and suddenly you're a super celebrity. It's just not fair.
Senec speaks of their previous encounter with the kobolds and goblins. The group discusses options, thinking that they should invade the goblin caves as their numbers have been thinned out. But it's also decided that kobolds are weaklings and easier prey. They hire 3 retainers for extra muscle, and despite a low offer of gear and weapons, with base pay and no shares, Merlin's charisma bonus to reaction secures all 3. Bumblestump and Graxley discuss their respective sharpshooting abilities and make a wager to see who can kill more enemies. The team makes a plan to use oil and Merlin's ventriloquism to lure out kobolds and ambush them. Feeling confident with the plan, the group buys gear and heads out into the wintry landscape. Scanning the area, Flighter tracks and discovers some movement again, though nothing in the goblin cave. They set up by laying down thick pools of oil at the mouth of the kobold cave, and position the halflings with their bows in the branches of a bare tree in the valley. The ranger and retainer take point at another tree. Senec, Merlin, 2 retainers set up near the cave mouth. Merlin uses ventriloquism and his knowledge of the kobold tongue to shout out into the cave that goblins are attacking, to rally, rally. DM rolls dice, and the gambit works. The kobolds on guard near the entrance sound an alert. Shortly afterwards, 6 kobolds emerge and the group gains surprise with their ambush, kills them quickly. Team readies up for more, and they hear a larger force coming. Merlin wants to drop a firebomb in the middle of the force to divide them, but being unable to determine how many are coming, the DM calls for an intelligence check to see if he can get the timing right. The roll fails, and he rolls randomly to determine, but alas, the entire force of kobolds sprints out before Merlin can ignite the line of oil. Surprise is rolled for the kobolds, and a 6 is scored, meaning a group of 15 plus kobolds is not surprised. Initiative is tied, and the kobolds move up to fight, while the team readjusts. A group of kobolds goes after Merlin, another after Senek and the retainers, and a larger group into a shield wall formation creeping towards the ranger. There's a barrage of javelins against each of the targets, 5 against Merlin. Only one connects, and he survives. A volley of javelins at the retainer and Senek score hits, but neither are killed. A barrage bombards the ranger and retainer, takes a hit, but also lives. The team's counterattacks, on the other hand, either miss or do too little damage to take out any kobolds. Even Merlin's attempt to toss flaming oil at the kobolds goes awry. He misses his intended target, and while he hits another, the damage roll is a mere 1 on a d8. Next round, kobolds take initiative and advance. Blows with daggers finish the magic user off. Javelins fly, and Flighter the ranger is killed. Almostump and Graxley look at each other at the same time and announce their intention to run away. They scramble down the tree and take off. Senek does a fighting withdrawal and is followed by a retainer. All told, the kobolds have managed to kill 2 of the retainers. But Senek and the final retainer flee, rejoining the halflings and returning to the keep, defeated. Over pints, Bumblestump says to Graxley that it might just be him, but he thinks they're becoming friends. Graxley responds with, "Yes, it's just you."
Oh, burn.
Neil departs the session early, so Bumblestump retires to his private apartment that he generally shares with Colin Bush, and since Colin is away, he's got it to himself for the time being and doesn't have to listen to the sermons on the virtues of Elona. The rest of the team decides to attempt another incursion and recruit new faces. Thus introduced are Vahid's new character Rigo, a neutral thief, and Rick, playing Bruce, another lawful magic user. Senek and Graxley convince the newcomers that there's still enough daylight and that these kobolds might be ripe for another assault. The new magic user says he has sleep magic in case they get into trouble. The group buys gear and heads back to the caves. When they arrive, from the distance they see a congregation of various tribes: kobolds, orcs, hobgoblins, and even a minotaur. They watch from a distance, noting that the hobgoblins seem to have authority, and there's even a human woman among them. The hobgoblin leader wields a glowing scepter, holding it down to a kobold who is touching it, though the team can't seem to make out the purpose. The humanoids eventually disband, returning to their caves. Senek notes which tribes go to which caves. Further, the humanoids take the dead from the previous battle, both kobold and human, toss them into a cave at the far end of the valley. The team decides to check out that cave to see what's up, once the field is clear. At the cave mouth, ready to enter, they are assailed by a stench and see several bodies immediately in the cave, but not as many as they expected to see. 2 of the human bodies are gone. This worries them. Rigo listens carefully. A successful roll allows him to hear the sounds of bones cracking between grunts and slurps. Something eating. The group immediately abandons their aim of exploring this cave and tries a repeat incursion of the kobold cave. They set an oil barrier so they may escape by lighting it as they pass should they get into trouble and have to flee. After the oil is set, they sneak forth. 4 kobolds are on guard. Graxley attempts to shoot, but they are ready and javelins are thrown. Graxley kills one, but the other 3 run and sound the alarm. The group retreats to the cave entrance, ready to light the fire. The kobolds remain behind the corner, exchanging barbs with the group long enough for Senek to get suspicious. Wonder whether they are stalling while another team comes from another cave entrance. He has the new magic user watch behind them, revealing 6 white fur-clad hobgoblins, armed with longbows, creeping slowly up behind from the other side of the valley. Magic user Bruce immediately sleeps them with his magic. Realizing that if one group spotted them, more aren't far behind, they light the fire to keep the kobolds in their cave, and then move to loot the hobgoblins. They find longbows, long swords, white fur cloaks, and money pouches. The group then departs as more hobgoblins emerge from their cave. Back at the keep, they tally their spoils. 210 in silver coins from the coin pouches, 6 longbows, 6 swords of good hobgoblin make. The real find are the white fur cloaks, which Reese, the tradesman, identifies as part of a shipment he was expecting, but the caravan is overdue, suggesting the hobgoblins might be responsible. Knowing the hobgoblins take prisoners, it's possible the caravaneers are still alive, though odd that no ransom demand has yet arrived. Senek reports what he saw about the hobgoblin chief. indicating that the rumor of tribes falling under one banner, led by hobgoblins, is no longer mere rumor, but fact. XP is awarded, and the session ends there.
Another incursion into the caves with deadly results. When will they learn that brute force as a first course isn't always the wisest course?
Still, kobold numbers are thinning for the time being, and as a result of their actions, they were able to glean information when all the tribes emerged after the kobold fight. It's notable that there were no goblins in that group. Has something happened? That mysterious woman advising the hobgoblins. She seems vaguely familiar. Certainly the machinations of the forces of chaos are not idle, even with the execution of the spy Roos and his acolyte.
Even with the character deaths we saw here, progress is being made, and the survivors are growing in experience. It won't be long before a group is strong enough to venture further into the caves and discover the plots brewing within.
One criticism of this module I've often seen is that there's no readily apparent reason for the various humanoid tribes to live together, that it makes no sense. I heartily disagree. This is a feature, not a bug. You see, the lack of printed motivations leaves it wide open for dungeon masters to justify and develop for their own games. Like many other aspects of this module, details have been kept scarce so that it will fit more readily into any given campaign. Why are the monsters working together? What keeps them from falling into infighting? Well, finding out is part of the adventure and fun. In this particular playthrough, it seems to have something to do with the Hobgoblin Chief and that magical scepter. But is that truly the answer to this mystery, or does some deeper threat have yet to reveal itself? The open-ended nature of such things allows for dungeon masters to insert anything they like. Even players who have run or played the module can expect to be surprised. It won't play the same way twice, which is an improvement over linear, narrative-based modules. A most eminently playable and replayable scenario, to be certain. After 16 sessions of this old-school Essentials campaign, we have seen many characters come and go, but those toughened by their experiences are rising up in the ranks as events unfold, careening to the inevitable confrontation with the denizens of the caves and uncovering the driving force for the tribe's shaky union. I look forward to seeing how it all plays out. Who will live? Who will die? Where will they go when they've exhausted the adventure options of the keep? Or will they? Perhaps they'll stay here. There's a vast wilderness around them, after all. An entire campaign's worth of story and adventure, all from a single 30-page module. Marvelous indeed.
Well, my friends, thus concludes another episode of this Reviewcap series. I hope you continue to enjoy them. More episodes loom as the Old School Essentials campaign continues.
Yeah. OSE is kind of fun, I suppose. Not too shabby. I approve.
Until the next one, my friends.